Hello and welcome back to the new video of the JUnit tutorial series. So in this video we will be talking about exception testing in JUnit. Okay, so how we can handle our exceptions in JUnit while testing our test cases. And now for this video prerequisite, we should know what is exception handling in Java and what are all different classes that are involved in exception handling in Java. Okay, so if you do not know anything about exception handling in Java, so I would suggest you to go ahead and watch one video on exception handling in Java and gain some knowledge about exception handling, and then come back here and continue this video. Okay, so to explain this exception testing in JUnit, I have an example over here. You can see we have cashier.java class, and this cashier.java class has one method which is validate transaction method, which accept the currency and the amount that we are passing. Okay, so the currency for this example, I have set the currency as euro and GBP. So these are the two currencies that we are passing, and this currency we are passing as arrays as list. So we are passing this list to this currency, and we have one amount that we are passing, and we have two methods to validate those currency and the amount, right? So if the currency that we are passing to this method is not from these two options that we are passing as a list, then in that case that we will throw one illegal argument exception. So again, as I told you, this throw what is illegal argument exception, you will get to know only if you know the concept of exception handling. Okay, so we will throw this one illegal argument exception, and we will tell the user that this currency, the currency that user is trying to pass this method, is not within the accepted currencies list. Okay, so we are for example, user is trying to pass the USD, that is US dollar currency, then in that case that currency is not accepted by our code, then in that case we will show illegal argument exception. Okay, so similarly we have amount is valid, this method, and both the method are boolean, so they will return true only if the conditions that are written inside them is getting satisfied. Okay, so if the amount is less than 0, then in that case we don't want that one, that argument as well. So in that case we have written one invalid transaction amount exception, and this exception is defined over here. We have created one more exception class. So this is the exception class in Java. You can see the symbol is also different for the exception class. Over here we have written this exception, and we are calling the super, that means we are calling the parent class method. Okay, so over here we have saying that transaction amount must be greater than 0, and if the amount is greater than 0, then in that case we will just simply return true. Okay, so over here we have written the if condition, and we have called those two methods. If both the methods are true, then and then only we will return the amount. If that is not the case, then in that case we will return -1, telling that there is one condition where currency is not accepted or the amount is greater than sorry, the smaller than 0. Okay, so we will go ahead and create one cashier test Java class, and over here inside this Java class we will just first create our main cashier test class. Okay, and now inside this we will write our test cases. So for defining the test cases, we know we have to write add test, and okay, so after that we will write public void. So public void. So we will be writing two methods. One is to check the currency, and one is to check the amount. Okay, so we will be writing two. So just let me name it as validate currency, and in this method what I will be doing is we will be writing cashier dot validate transaction and we will be passing the currency which is not supported, right? So USD is not supported because we have not written USD inside this list, right? So it should give me this test case should not get passed and amount is 10. So okay, so this is what we will be writing, and again we will be writing one more test case at test, sorry, at test, and below this we will be writing public void validate validate the amount, and inside this we will be writing cashier dot validate transaction. And now since we are validating the amount, I will give the currency that is supported, so we will be writing EUR as a currency, but the amount that is not supported will be giving -10, which is not supported amount. Okay, so since this is a integer, I should get rid of this double quoted. Okay, so over here, if I run this cashier test case, so I should get errors. Our test cases should not get passed. Okay, so see, transaction amount must be greater than 0 because validate transaction, the transaction amount is since this exception is thrown, and again we are getting one more error that currency USD is not within the accepted currency list. We are getting this, we are throwing this exception. Okay, so to handle this exception, what we can do is in JUnit we will just pass here expected is equals to runtime exception dot class, and similarly we will be passing this also. Okay, and now if I go ahead and just click on run, now the both test cases will get passed. Yeah, you can see both test cases are getting passed because what we are telling this test case is that my expected output should be a runtime exception, and this call over to this validated transaction is actually creating a runtime exception because this currency is not getting accepted, and this one also creating a runtime exception because the amount that we are entering over here is not accepted by our method, and which will create a runtime exception. Okay, so what we are doing is we are telling that this class extends a runtime exception, so we can write the runtime exception over here as well. So this class, the expected output and the output that we are getting from this method call and also from here, both are runtime exception. That's why our test cases is getting passed. Okay, so this is how you can handle the runtime exception, and we have seen how we can check the runtime exception in Java JUnit. Okay, so thank you for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.